Hakasin maningong ka Shillong All Faith Forum haringkat ka jes nok tilang bat kasanker. Kalapan long ka special discussion halor u drugs bat kijingdi ipinbuan kabalapan long haka conference room jong kasanker. Hakan sngi lawan menyudan lang u Bishop Purely Lingdo u badai u President jong kasaf. Father Richard Majau u badai u General Secretary u Dr. Sandy Syiem u badai u Director jong kasanker. Pastor Edwin Kharkungor ki riu rangba ki samla ki doktor ki riu nyambat ki pajba. Habakren hakan sngi nakaliang u Bishop Purely Lingdo u longba kathong ba khmat kalong banrat dingkhong ye ki jing snil hakabai dei badu drugs upadeiru u jing snil upalapin snil dur ya kalong ying longsam bat lemba kani gaja keren laban yo ya shibun ki jing tep bakham banya kumno banyale persha yo drugs u Father Richard Majau ulong ba lemba kani ka program laban yo ik jing mentoy kumno ban ai jing hikailem shakir riunget jongki balang ba per kumno banyale persha yo drugs bat kum ka kenhon kaladon ya ki ikhtiar ban pendu pendam sendon ya ka jing kendrai drugs u Dr. Sandy hababatai halor drugs ulong ba Kasorkar kamdei banchna ya ka Rehab Center Kawei ka district hendrai ka banchna ya Kawei ka Rehab Center Kawei pa Kawei ka Constituency khnabakan ajing mento ya ki longying longsam shushu long ba kum gi brio ngimdei ban pejpo ya ki bangat how drugs hendrai ngidei bandan ringkat bat ki ban ai ka jing hika ya ki kumno ban lait na uni u jingdi pin buaj khnang bakin la banwan ra ya ka jingala ha ka jingim ka jonki.
Yes, friends, we read about it. We read about it in the print media. We hear about it in the electronic media almost every day. Drugs, drugs, drugs. Every day. In Shillong, the state of Meghalaya, and in all over the world. All over the world. Some of you see it with your own eyes and experience it in the locality, in your neighborhood, and perhaps relatives in the family. How much this problem, how much drugs has caused havoc in the lives of those who have succumbed to this problem, addiction.
But then, I think now after, I think everyone knows Matthew Perry, after his death, I realized, maybe I might be wrong, but I just realized that addiction is a disease and it needs help, and someone, it does have that, one's power, one's willpower also, but it also needs someone's support, moral support, an external force to help that person fight the addiction. So earlier I had a perspective that, we avoid addicts, we try to be far away from them, we don't go close to them, we tend to think that we shouldn't be, we tend to, tell our fellow friends or our young ones not to be close to people who are addicts, who are addicted to some substances. But right now, I just feel that we should be, as an individual, we have a role to play to help those addicts or addiction.
Addicted to money, some may be addicted to lust, and addiction is so different, like gambling. So, if you generalize addiction, it can be of many categories. But what we are here today is addiction through substances and drugs. If you say addiction, it may be in the general term, but let us be very specific here. Addiction with substances. And I am here because I believe we can help, we can break this chain, and we can bring those people closer to us by love, faith. We can revamp them. That's all I have to say.
What is the war on drugs? Actually, in June 2011, the Global Commission on Drug Policy declared that the global war on drugs is a failure. In Geneva, in 2022, the UN human rights experts have called on the international community to bring an end to the so-called war on drugs and promote policies that are firmly anchored in human rights. As the UN Common Position on drug policy has emphasized, drug use and dependency should not be treated as a criminal matter. Therefore, when I ask the question, what do you think of addiction, what do you think of addicts, many people think that addicts are criminals. Many people think that addicts are sinners, that addicts are bad people. So if you declare war on the two people that you saw just now, is it right? It can only be addressed through rights-based measures including public health education, provision of mental health hygiene treatment, care and support, rehabilitation and transition reintegration programs. That's where an organization like yours come in. I was struck by the similarity between the time when SAFF was formed. It was a period of what we call the pandemic. That pandemic was sudden, that pandemic was severe, that pandemic was visible. Well, we are talking about a pandemic that is already existing with man from the beginning of time. Because addiction has been with us from the beginning, it will continue to be with us to the end. As long as mankind survives on the face of this earth, addiction will be there. It is for us to realize that that is how it is. And our responses to addiction depends on our attitudes. If our attitude is that the person is a sinner, I will avoid him. If our attitude is that the addict is a criminal, I will put him behind bars. But if I remember, if I understand that the addict is a friend of mine, the addict is my son, the addict is my brother, if we don't have love, we cannot help them. And what greater love is there than the love of God? Our job is to help them find that way. Your job as members of the community is to help them come to that stage.
When you got the Shillong All Faith Forum, could be a day, but he judge you keep a pair with on a Shillong. The Kawei getting to move jong, ni having a sing along, when you done Ganekan program, awareness program, Kerpang but Runkat, but Dr. Sandy's aim belong away Naki Dr. Haganikalan Hashilong. But ye long long near sun care, Kitaka be a day, young Nagatagni to Mungumgane. The Kasaf, by Secretary Jungi, Iba Latrish Tom, to cut the Dr. Sandy, Ilalavan long awareness program, Tagawaki. The court member, good number, clear one ki punhon prepare, but cut no along between Kasni about aging shy, Kasni about aging Mantai, Yani Baro, Ibawan, in so to Hamjana issue, Yak Agenica problem, the issue coming up, problem addiction, but Gumno Nangish, but Gum ki Nongyalam, a jongi jing, Ila, but Yach, but lay Lady long iberet to Kanogano, and Iban long jinkerku, Yak Emlam Salang, Yaki Hon Kiki kitchen, Shenram Gante, Kiba Kiba Laha, Aki addiction, Kibakumkine.
Hadian bangi lai I yakajing kanrei jong kanika yakani kajing kanrei jong kanika drugs hakanika jaga kajungi agum kinong ilang balang ni sutu ngem dan yakata ka expertise halo jong kanika halo jong kanik banta Handai ke jupon I ya ke jingkan rai bering jongi kena school nang ta ki kena pule nang ta ki imlang salang tam ya ki shenrang handai I wadi kentairu di kum ta kini kala ketik ya ke jumut ke jing berkat ke jungi bat ngim tip kunu benle ngilai kran bun sin ka saf alor jengane handai ngim tip kunu benle ngira perkat le si begin dai direct cheki kena school handai hadian Meghalaya wan ben ya kran man consult ye I Dr. Syiem hang ne posan care me I ila jumut bat ilom namar ngidai ki fit leaders kani ka saf kadi ki ngidon ki fit leaders ang ne bat ngisung bodong kat kum kecing ai jumut ji kolong ba habo mangi kum ki fit leaders ngikran ila ki jong ki prabangai hala ki jong ki constituency hala ki jong balang kadon ji kata ki impact tingi ngisngo kumba kani ka saf kalawan kala kejuan juga saf ke jing sedang juga saf kade halo jong kani ke jing pang covid bat kat ka saf kadon ye ibenta ibarit bah Henry ngisung bodong ngilak ben lai nak bentak ki imlang salam ngitip kini ki substance abuse ki kata ingi kumbai la batai Dr. Syiem ne ndai dan drug addiction ande ki dan ki addiction ro ki bangidan hak jim ke jengi kini kita ki jing le ki bangi kedua ke jim jengi ngisung bodong ki fail leaders ni kwa ban ra i gadi ko khubor hala ki jong ki constituency hala ki jong ki jaka rengkat ki jirap lam jong Kibri kumi Dr. Sandi hakunu gurkom bangidong bakani kedeka jing le ke bakrau ngimdi ben penrem ya kibri ki bahak hakini ki jing kunduk kejuki hanrai hakunu gurkom ban senran ya ki hieng kisam ban senran ya kini ki belama ya kini ki jinge ban senran ru ya ki imlang salang hai rukom ibrit bah namar kani kedeka kam ka balong nong kumno kolong ka ba bah hamda ba min kere chpang drug addiction kadon chipun ki bat ngisuk ngimla ban kata kita ki bentan namar ngimdan ya ka bor benle kumta Henry ye bangila benle ban ra kini chala ke syaki imlang salang chala ke jong ki para bangai ban hakun dur kam ngidon kam ken banjap ya gede ho ke de ke jele ngidon kam ka bor ke jong blai Henry hai nuri rum bangila ban no senyam itai di jam no nakalian jungi kum kasaf ban ayu gini Khubor syaki imlang salang hangni po Shillong ha Meghalaya bat haklen ki ba yasno ya gini Khubor ke jungi mention bagi kini ki youth gathering berkumta ter ke bangidan masuk banong le singidon kami ki export haka bakin wan kren ban pen sekolah haki beri gejungi bangidon kam kain banyas no akti rengkat lang haka ban nyerap ban job ya gini gejungi bat kumang kilai kren makin nang ni ki export kren ni kyong nak bentak sengkir ni ke ke bamaki ki angut ke di berbor ya ki beri ki di berong kini omnu ki patient kini ki ba kede ka center of work nak benta jugi le kede ki ba kongsantam tina kata kada musuh dang nak benta jungiru ka ba kam kongsan kede ye ki bere ki belangau akum kini hakulu kurkam ngin sendrani ki mde bengin pendramiki ndai kumdo bengin sendran lamiki kumdo ngin aimen sim lamiki kenang baki laban jauh kumangil imene baki ki bere ki job nak kada jog keji sendran jong kene ke institute kaji senjan jogi doktor ki nata ki ki nang sumarang ni kedi kaji senjan jogi jong ke ye gesam ke bakila jab masuk bedang pada ki imlang salang pada ki balang jogi ki snok tin kan masuk bedang ngin salah ban job antang salah ban ai kecing yang ke mai ya kita belah aku kini kijing hakini kijing ye hangi kede ka kejing bon jong ki bere ki belah hakini ka drug addiction kini kala kata ingi ngisung nginang try mengi itang kendian ni aku Khubor na goi por andai dengi pek mata yaki statistics by Dr. Sandi present ni buat ba ki beri ki bala ha bangi Meghalaya ki bon ba ki bangop hakini ka jing bakla tina kata kini kala ketik jumut yengi bar kunjuru ngin saya persangi banong ru ya ke sarkar nang taru ki brand mata hakunu kromban le ak tu krom hakabangin ya trilengkat ban wara ya ke jinjab nak lamta kedika ya kam tak kedika jile ke balak ta ya ki imlang salam jungi ram jungi kum ki nang yalam balang tekan dehi ban bu ya ka jingduai kedika ba ngingit skam ke jingduai kedika bor ke baklain ke jingduai kedika we nang ta ban ra halaki jong ki balang ki jongi halaki jong ki niam ki jongi ban ra nang ta ban ra ke Khubor bonong ngiran kam menyetrilang hakabala ban wara ke nya ke jinjab ya ke ni ke jile ke bawan haki kun ki jungi haki imlang salam jungi
ngadap tho akor Khubor ru ngala ong bon sen ru kamla banlong katma nadu arjar kharsan ki kinong penyai jong ka UN jong ka WHO gila de ong ba katma gala fail kam dei shu katma ngidon kam bersu thu bagat ni kajing di kade kajing pang kajing shisha kade kamram ko mo ngam tan ko jong ka health department kam dei jong social welfare kam dei jong pudet bagat pinele ai gane kade mangi ki doktor mangin sumar ko ngam ne to Kawei Constituency Kawei Rehab Center ki emele jungi ki bersu thu e kata Kawei Constituency Donkam Rehab Center amdei Kawei district Donkam kata Donkam bukan sim 3 sim kia ke health department ya gane ke jingpang kani ke pandemic kemudian kulang sawdong sarkar amdei baben amdei bakno amdei bayenyo yanu nuru ndrei kalong program da sistem kamnum trikam kadon ketu kena samuk kata kabaya ketu tegaya proses nem tu ri bapa jong sarkar kebale ki pulong awareness programs haki school haki communities prokul leng ka ri ka state mon ketu era